a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I'm joined by Sam from the Boleyn Boys on Twitter. Good man, Sam. Like Sam, he used to do a podcast and basically used to have me on there. We used to have many debates, me and Sam, but it's all good. It's all love. Sam, how you doing, man?
Yes, what's happening? Good. Just for anyone who's watching and the rest of it, I'm in a cab right now, so I'm at my place of work, getting ready to give you a bit of a grilling.
That's it, mate. Sam on tours. That's what it is. Sam on tours. Sam, let's get into this. West Ham this season, 2022, 2023. Give me your assessment, Sam, of this season as a whole for you.
Clearly, the league, the league season was way below par for where our expectations are, and the expectations thing makes me laugh because obviously, quite clearly, if you do better, expectations will rise. But for some reason, and when you spend nearly 200 mil, but for some reason, some think like we should just always expect to nearly be relegated, which I think is just bollocks. Really. So yeah, the season was crap, but we've had a little shining light in the background, which has been obviously the Conference League. But with the Conference League, probably we're par for the course right now. I mean, I think we've been favourites with the bookies, maybe in the UK since the start of the tournament. But realistically, I think we was probably all expecting at least a semi-final.
Great.
Now we're in the final. Like, obviously, it is amazing and things like that. And I wouldn't say I expected us to get here, at least a semi-final. But now we are here. You probably are thinking, well, you're about par for the course, really.
Yeah.
Actually going on to make a difference and turning what's been this season into a good one, he's got to be winning it. If we lose it, then we've had a shit season. We've lost in another important game in terms of like last year, we lost in the semi-final as well. It's about winning things. Like if we don't win next week, then forget everything. I'm not bothered about our first final in 47 years and things like that in Europe and 43 years or since 2006 and the rest of it. We need to start winning, and it's vital next week that we go on to win for the transfer market. And if we go on to lose Rice, which if we win, I think there's a slight possible chance he might stay. But I think realistically, we all know he's going to go. If he does go, we need to be competitive in the transfer market, and by being able to offer Europa League football, I think it gives us the edge still on a couple of teams around us.
I agree, mate. I really do. Where, in your mind, where's it sort of gone wrong this season in regards to the league? Obviously, at the start of the season, we had a lot of injuries. David Moyes needs to be called into question for a lot of things. Where do you stand with Moyes also?
Well, I think it's been well documented now, and like he tried to change the way we play at the start of the season, and but you didn't really get that he was actually trying to do it in terms of like if you look at the players we brought in, they are all footballers. Even someone like Correa, like at times he has got right up my backside, but I like him. I think he's a good player. He's someone who wants to, like, he ain't afraid to get the ball, Fabianski. He always wants the ball, and that's the sort of team and the sort of football that we want to start seeing at West Ham. But Moyes, in my opinion, doesn't know how to manage that style of football. And you can tell that because when we try, I don't know if I started watching us a little bit closely just to sort of try and back up on any argument I had. But whenever we pressed from the front or tried to, you look at the front three, they was all turning around. Where are we? What are you doing? Where is everyone? No one. It was like you go to, I'm not comparing West Ham to Man City or Moyes to Pep, but you look at Man City, they are so well drilled because Pep knows exactly what he wants from his players and they know exactly what Pep wants from them. They know as soon as that other team passes the ball wherever, they know where to be, what position to be in, whether to be up their arse, whether to back off. They know that. At West Ham, when we're trying to play this way, we don't know that. So Moyes can't coach that style of football. So all of a sudden, he's reverted back to type. And then that's why we've gone back to seeing this type of football we're seeing now. But on top of that, we've been playing the same way now because he hasn't got a plan B. We've been playing the same way now for 3 or 4 years, and we all know if you stand still in football, you eventually go backwards.
Mm.
I believe it's been the case of that this season.
100% agree, mate. 100% agree. I think a lot of what it is with a lot of the Moyes in, Moyes out. Like, I'm very much Moyes out. I was Moyes out for a long time, and I still am to a point. I look at the style of play for me, and I think this is not sustainable next season. Like if we play like this next season, we're going to get found out big time, and we're going to be in a relegation battle again. If he wins it, Sam, does he stay? If he loses it, does he go for you?
Well, see, this is a big one that you can't. So I'm just moving in the caveat. This is a big one that you. It's hard because the board. It comes down to the board, don't it? They've not got the same ambitions as either me or you, I suspect. I think you're probably similar to me. Because not realistically, like in my world, having the stadium move and what we've done it for and to compete at the top and all that sort of nonsense, we should be going out and looking like, at the time, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I'm thinking like Pochettino, Tuchel, that sort of manager. People go, oh, they won't come, it's West Ham. If you throw money at someone, they will come. It's as simple as that. We won't throw money at no one. We won't like barely spend a penny. Like, we've done it last year. Well done. Let's go do it 2, 3, 4 seasons on the spin. Then I might start giving you a bit of credit. So saying that, do I want Moyes to stay? Probably better the devil you know at this moment in time, because I don't trust the ball to go out and find anyone as a suitable replacement for him who can. Who I don't know. I think he has a little bit of control, Moyes. I don't think he has a lot though. You can tell that, but like people say about Ings, like was clearly a bold signing. So they still want to get involved somewhere, and it just worries me. I don't think like they fucking landed on Moyes. They didn't even want him again. The only reason we got him back was it because he was free. They landed back on him. This is what annoys me. When but the ball deserved credit for going back. They didn't want to go back. Only went back because he was bloody free. If there was a manager, if Moyes was in a job at that moment in time, he would not be a West Ham manager. They didn't look at him and go, fuck, we made a mistake. We need to go and get him. They purely took him because he was free. If he was at another club at that time, they wouldn't have gone and paid his compensation package, would they?
No,
they got
I totally agree with you.
And so, anyway, so back to what you were asking, I probably would keep him again. So I think right now, if there is such a thing at West Ham, we probably are a little bit stable at the minute. As much as we all hate it and we don't like it, and I, for one, find it incredibly frustrating, I think I'm happy to stay with him purely on the fact I don't know what they could do next. Because if we don't get Europe and they sack him, then who knows? Do you know what I mean? Who knows what they'll end up doing?
It's a catch-22 situation with this one. It really is with Moyes. For me personally, I think if he wins it, he deserves benefit of the doubt for this season. That's the one thing I will say. Like this season, you can let go if he wins the competition, wins us a trophy, gets us Europe. What more do we want as fans? Like, what more can he do? Do you know what I'm saying? If he loses it for me, then I think it is time to say goodbye, because I don't think there's more he can do in next season that he already done, if that makes sense. Like he's done quite a lot, don't get me wrong, but there's time. Sometimes all good things do come to an end. You need to have a freshen up and someone who can go carry on. What you just said about the manager he being in a job, 100% agree with you. The problem is with West Ham is the board at the end of the day, and it always will be until the board are gone. Once the board are gone, West Ham will go out and have a proper board who will go out and get a top-class manager. Do you know what I mean? And what does me, and what really does anger me, is West Ham will go out and spend a lot of money on players, but they won't go out and spend a lot of money on the manager. They just will never do it. Like they won't go and spend £5 million or £10 million on the manager.
But even that, they spend a few quid on players, but they've only done it I think we had a summer under Pellegrini, and then this last summer, where I could probably turn around and hold my hands up and go, all right, fair enough, you did spend a few quid. But we meant to be a top club. You told us we meant to be a top club, and that's why we're moving. So start acting like one. I don't want it once every 6 seasons or once every 3 seasons. I want it even enough every season. 2 out of 3 seasons, we need to be spending big money. I looked at our wage bill recently because a lot of people going about that. What do you expect? Blah blah blah. So 15 years ago, before they even bought us, so this is what got to be 2008. Am I getting my years right? About 2008, isn't it?
2008. Yeah.
It's about 15 years ago, before they'd bought us, and when I think it might have been Magnuson in charge or whatever, we was 11th in the wage bill. So probably about right where we was knocking around, sort of top half and all that, weren't we? Right now, we're currently 9th. So 15 years later, sustained period in the Premier League, European football, 2 seasons on the trot, billions and billions that have come in TV revenue and the rest of it, and this whole stadium move and all that. And we've only moved up 2 places. And during that time, how many teams have come up and gone back down to, I can't think of the word, but do you know what I mean? Like the gap between 2 places when you've had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams drop out of that league as well. Like the top 9 have probably all roughly been around it, but Newcastle have been back down. You can't, it's a discounted argument now because of all the money they've got, but do you know what I mean? And we're still 9th, is my point. Like, so what was we moved up? So that whole stadium moved. The whole point of ripping out Upton Park and moving was to go from 11th in our wage bill to 9th. We was told we was going to go from 11th to, I don't know, 4th, 3rd, 5th, 6th, that sort of territory. Like, and the thing is, we're 9th. I can only see us stand 9th. I can't see us going any further. So again, it goes back to the board and the move. What was the bloody point? People go, well, we're paying people this now, we're paying people that. TV bloody money. We could have done all this at Upton Park. In fact, someone like Paqueta, Zuma, Danny Ings on his 120 grand a week, whatever, they would have all signed for this club at Upton Park. They don't look at that stadium and think, I want to play there every week in front of 60,000. They could not give a shit. I don't believe that argument for a second. They would have signed for us if we'd put the money in front of them at Upton Park. Could we have done that? Yes, we could have.
100% agree. The best way of summing it up for me, before I move on, is when we left Upton Park, we had 1 world-class player. We've got 1 world-class player now. That's the best way of summing it up. When we left Upton Park, we had Dimitri Payet, who at the time was world-class. He was like one of the best players in the world for West Ham. And we've got a world-class player now in Deck. And when I look at the rest of our team, where are these young world-class players, or top-class team with a top-class manager and all that crap? So I do agree with you, Sam. 100%, mate. I really do. Sam,
just a point, James. Sorry, just a good point there. What you're saying, like when you're comparing what we have now to what we had then, like there ain't much difference. Like because all the others, like all the other squad players we've got on that now, other than being foreign and on big money. They're exactly what you were saying. They're the equivalent to what we had then. So what have we actually done now? We've just moved with the times and with all the billions that have come in. That's all we've done. Everyone goes on about breaking transfer records. Every other fucking club's broke their transfer record as well. It ain't something new to West. Oh, West Ham spent 50 mil. Yo, fuck me, like Burnley spent 30 mil on a striker the other year.
Yeah.
Like everyone's bloody done it. Do you know what I mean? It's moving. Oh, that's what frustrates me anyway.
With the way the finances are at the minute, West Ham should be breaking their transfer fee sort of every other year, really, or every year, really. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do agree with you, mate. I must admit, we could talk about that.
Luton are going to smash their transfer records. You know what I mean? Like, it's the money from the Premier League. It ain't nothing fucking new to anyone.
I know, mate. I know. Sam, how do we approach Fiorentina in Prague, mate? Obviously, you're going. How do you want to see West Ham set up and approach this game in Prague against them?
Listen, I'm not one of them. I don't know fucking much about Fiorentina. I watched them. I watched the 90 against Inter. And funnily enough, everyone, well, see that you got 2 mood points here because everything we hate Moyes for in terms of sitting back, not being a team on the front foot is probably going to be the way to beat these. After, bear in mind, I've watched them for 90 minutes, but they look like they could keep the ball very well against an Inter Milan side who have made it to the Champions League final. They also had a hatful of chances, which on another day they could have easily won that final as well. So they're definitely a decent team. And then you've got like the flip side to that. We all want to be that team. Someone tweeted me earlier. We want to be that team where we're the fearful ones. Like we want to be asking Fiorentina to look at us and go, actually, we're worried about you. But we just, like I said earlier, Moyes reverted back to type, and that's how we've sort of gone back to. But in recent weeks, you look at the Man U performance that sticks out in my recent memory. I thought it was brilliant playing that way.
Agree.
And when you can put in them performances, it does work. It's so few and far between. And I think the squad, with the money spent last year, I think that the players we brought were brilliant. I think the squad have outgrown that. It's like going to Man City going. Again, I'm not comparing our squads, but it's like going to Man City going, right, just sit back behind the ball for half hour and then try and hit them on the counter attack. Do you know what I mean? Like the pointer, like, I don't know, something similar in our team, Paqueta. Paqueta don't want to defend. Again, I'm not putting them on the same level, but Paqueta wants to play freely. He wants to pick out a pass, and if he loses it, so fucking what? He's going to try stuff. But instead, he gets regimented into this, like, can only do what he's allowed to do. And if he does do like that, he's been getting, I think he's got a lot better and a lot more used to the Premier League. But at the start of the season, you know, he used to lose the ball, and Moyes was just on him all the time, bringing him off and the rest of it. Like he's like with Benrahma, like if anyone tries anything out of the regimented setup, they get like a ticking off, and like Benrahma's always coming off. I think one of the boys said that, maybe Altmaier said, like, why is it always me coming off? Because others like Bowen, Fornals, when he was starting, they're regimented in that plan, aren't they? Like they know exactly what they're doing, what they want. Like Fornals ain't a winner. He's disciplined as they come. So I think we will play on that counter attack, and like I say, like me saying all that and rah rah rah. Funnily enough, it actually might be the way.
Is it a dangerous game though for you?
I've only watched them for 90 minutes, so I couldn't.
No, that's all right, Sam. But is it a dangerous game to play against this side? Like, let's be honest, we all know Italian sides, they love to win a game 1-0. Like, if we go 1-0 down against this side, defensively, they're Italian side's well marshalled in defence in the dark hearts of how to win a game. Do you know what I mean? From a sticky situation. The problem is with West Ham for me, and I agree with what you just said there, 100%, is that if we go 1-0 down in this game, then we're going to be fighting a team who are no mugs at all. It's the hardest team in the league, in the game, in the competition that we've done this season. They impressed me in the semi-final against Basel to go 2-1 down at home in the 90th minute, then to go to the away leg and win and get it done there. It says to me that this team will not give up, sort of thing, and they will keep going and going and going. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of a tricky one. If he does approach the game in that way, will you be happy with it, Sam? Like, will you be satisfied that he's going in that way, or would you rather him attack it from the front?
Well, you would. Like we've said it. Like we want to become that team where teams fear us, but we've not played that way all season. So why change it now? Because if he changes it in the final and he does come unstuck, then you're going to rip into him and go, "Fucking, why didn't he?
Yeah.
Why didn't he play the way we would?" So no, just play the way we've been doing. We know if we're on our day and we play that way in particular, we will get it. But the problem with it is, like Alkmaar, we never pretty much come under any threat. The problem was, I love Antonio. People might think I actually love him because I think he works brilliantly and he works perfectly for Moyes' system. But he can't fucking finish. We've got no one really. Like Owen is way off form even now. Like his work rate is getting him in the team. No one can't finish. Alkmaar should have been put to bed. But we're not clinical enough, and that's what worries me about what you're saying. If they do go 1-0 up, and then they decide to sit back, again, you go back to the start of the season, what we just spoke about. But because we'd had 2 seasons at 6th and 7th, all of a sudden other teams look at you like, shit, we need to respect these now to give them the ball. And then that is where we got thrown. All of a sudden, we're a team who had all the ball. Fuck, what do we do with it? Because we ain't got a fucking clue. So he goes back to just sitting off and letting them have the ball. Because he don't know what to do when we've got the ball. So if we go 1-0 down, it could turn into a long afternoon.
It definitely could do.
I don't think we've got the players to break them down. Like you can't break a team down who are sitting back and just lump balls into Sanchez.
Yeah.
This is why players like Paqueta were brought in. And Benrahma, do you know what I mean? They can do that little bit around the edge of the box, and like Paqueta will look for the not ordinary, and he'll try and make something happen. So it's these players why we've got them in, but then like he'll persist with Sarchek, and I like Soucek and that, and I think for the way Moyes plays, he works. I do think he works, and I do like him. But, just me as a fan, I think we've progressed from that, and we should now be looking ourselves to get on the front foot.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Sam. 100%, mate. Right, let's get to your starting 11, Sam. You're the manager on the 7th. Who are you picking, start to finish?
I was laughing because straight away it goes in like the goalkeeper situation is just. I know Ariola's been in between the sticks all season.
Well, let me give you this scenario, Sam. Yeah, if for argument's sake it goes to extra time
penalties.
and he's looking like it's going to penalties, do you sub Fab on for penalties for you?
Right and all, yeah.
100%.
Well, I'm half thinking about starting him, to be honest, because look at what Ariola done against Alkmaar in the first leg. I don't put that. This ain't a fault on Ariola. I just think it's literally purely lack of game time. He's been playing like fine when Europa's been on. He's been playing once a week for a few weeks or whatever. And then he's had long breaks where he's done nothing as well. I mean, we've got knocked out the other 2 cups as well, so he hasn't played a lot of football. And you look at what I like Ariola. You look at what he's done against Alkmaar that first leg, and that's poor goalkeeping error.
Yeah,
and it's something you can't see Fab doing, and you think is that answer game? I personally think it's like just a bit of rust and all that. Do you know what I mean? I probably would stick with Ariola because he has been the goalkeeper. But if it was to go to penalties, I would be saying to the pair of them like Fab, get yourself ready to come on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And Joe, it's actually quite hard because then I think about right back, you got Sifal and Correa. Correa, I think, has been a lot better in the last few weeks. And like I've already said, I actually quite like him. But I think I more like him as like a right centre back in a 3. If he's going to play with a 4 and knowing the stadium and being at home, I think Sifal's probably a sensible option. And I think he's been getting way back to his best as well recently.
Yeah.
I think the 2 at the back are obvious, Zuma and again. I mean, Zuma's just solid, isn't he? He's a really good player. He's just solid. I love again, and he can ping a ball, but he's got a mistake in him, so got to be like a lot of people love his pace and all that, and his last-ditch tackles, but what they don't realise is he puts himself in trouble to make that last-ditch tackle. He's got a mistake in him, and I think that's probably why West Ham have picked him up and not kind of like the elites, if you like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Left back, fucking hell. I'll probably stick with Cress because he just seems. I think we're in half a decent run of form at the minute compared to what we've been watching.
Big game for him though, Sam, isn't it? Cresswell.
It is because he didn't handle the pressure too well, did he? Last season he got. What did he get sent? Did he get sent off twice in the
twice? Leon at home and Frankfurt away, wasn't it?
Exactly. So it is big game for him. But obviously, we're going on about his testimony and all that. He has been a great servant, and he's a great footballer. He has his dips in form and that, just like anyone. But I think recently, I think he's been well as well. So I think saying that and knowing more is he'll probably stick with Creswell now. Midfield 3, I think they speak for it. They've got a lot better. Kevin Rice. If we only see them for one season, because lately, over the last couple of months, you can just see them 2 really clicking together. And it'll be criminal if Rice leaves and we only see that. But like, especially that how they're playing now, I think they're fucking brilliant, the pair of them. And obviously Soucek being there. I like Soucek, do you know what I mean? He breaks up so much of the play. And the geezer will fucking run his heart out. Again, he's at home as well, isn't he, with Slavia Prague. So he knows the stadium and all that. And it'll give you 100%. So I think that'll be the midfield 3 as usual. And then you're looking at Bowen standard. Hopefully, do you know what I mean? With what's happening to him, it might be written in the stars that he might score 1, maybe 2 goals. Antonio, like we mentioned earlier, I think he's brilliant at what he does. What worries me with him, if he goes through 1-on-1 with someone, you just think he ain't gonna. That's my only thing with Antonio. Like, I think he's brilliant at everything he does, but he can't finish the bloody ball.
And he's got to roll the ball up and all. And he's saying he's got to be able to roll the ball up.
One game, it'll just bounce off him. The next game, it's like fucking Gorilla Glue. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will just stick to him.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get that side of him because it is brilliant at what he does. And then on the left wing, it's probably, again, he'll go between the two. For some reason, I feel like he might pick Fornals just because he's shown a little bit in recent weeks in that. And again, what we spoke about earlier, it's the final, biggest game for Moyes' career. I can see him going with Fornals. I think Benny deserves it. He's been like the number one man out there all season. I think being a final and not wanting to give much away, he'll probably end up going with Fornals. But I personally would keep Ben Rama out there.
Yeah, yeah. I actually agree with you, mate. I think it's a toss of a coin between two positions: Ben Rama and Fornals, and Kehrer and Kufal. I think the rest of it sort of picks itself. If he does go with Kehrer, I'm happy, really, because I think Kufal is a good defender. Don't get me wrong; he's a better defender for me than Kehrer, but Kehrer's got the pace, and he's better going forward. Kehrer, that's what we want when players going forward, and it's going to be an interesting sort of lineup, whatever Moyes approaches. Right, Sam, give us your prediction. Tell me exactly how you see it going on that 7th of June.
Oh, do you know what? I literally tweeted this morning. I genuinely had a dream. He was like, we was playing the game, and it went to extra time, and we ended up getting like just banged 4-0, and it was like classic. It just turned, like I can feel the feeling of just remembering like this is just West Ham. It's just never going to happen for us. And then I don't know if I'll say we're going to win because like obviously we all want it to happen, and I think maybe we'll win 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1. No goals. Bowen will score, I reckon. Give one with the kids, and I'd love Kufal just to get one somewhere.
Yeah.
In the 90, do you know what I mean? I think Bowen might get one just because it's part of the story, and then Kufal I'd love to get. That's all like dreamland stuff. I think I don't know, James. Like you're getting me here. I think we'll win. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how, whatever, and I don't really care. As long as we win. It's hard because do you know what I mean? Like I want us to win so much, but we just know we can balls it up as well as we can win it. Do you know what I mean? That's what scares me, and it does. It scares me so much because we just don't want it. We want it so much, and I'm scared to say we're going to win because I don't want to get overconfident either. Like there's no reason we can't win.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to get overconfident.
I agree. Listen, I want West Ham to win more than anything in the fucking world. Don't get me wrong, but I just think if we approach this game the right way, I think we get the job done. I did say this after the Manchester United game. I turned around and I said that I fancy West Ham to win the competition now. Once the Man United game was done and we were safe, we've got the 10-day break. We've got a lot going for us with West Ham at the minute. Like we've got Fiorentina play on Sunday, then they play on the Wednesday. It's everything sort of falling in West Ham's path, really. It's just the only fear I have to sort of round it up is Moyes on this one. It's whether Moyes is proactive or reactive. That's as simple as that. I think. Like if he goes for it, I think we go through this thing. I really do. I think we can. I think we've got a good side. I think Paqueta's on it. Rice is on it. We will do the damage there.
As whatever people think about Moyes and that as well, we've got to remember that Moyes, as much as anyone, will finally want to lift the trophy as well. So I think no one has to be fearful of like what's he doing, because whatever Moyes does and chooses on that day will all be for the same goal as everyone to win a trophy. I mean, Moyes probably isn't going to have a better chance ever of getting his hands on a trophy, and he will know that. I know he's still a young man, but maybe in terms of managerial ages, he ain't probably the youngest out there no more. So we'll know as much as anyone. This is a great chance for him, and that he probably won't get many more opportunities, and certainly not as good as this.
Yeah.
So listen, I think we will win if I really, because the players we've got like Paqueta, Rice, Aged, like Antonio, even Bowen, like all of them, if they are on their day, like you just alluded back to the Man U game now, on their day, it was good. Like they can compete with the very best.
Yeah.
But one thing I think, just to make sure everyone knows, like listen, whatever Moyes chooses on that day, he will be doing his utmost to win that trophy as much as we want to win it. And for that, and then whatever goes on after that, it's the life of a West Ham fan.
100%, Sam. 100%. That's a good way to round it up, mate. Sam, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it, as always. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Please go and follow Sam on Twitter. His Twitter link is what, Sam?
_Boleyn boys.
That's it. Go and follow Sam on there. I'll be back later on tonight. I've got 2 more things to do tonight, so do check them out here on E20 Zone TV. Anyway, that's enough from me and Sam. Enjoy your Wednesday afternoon, day, and I will see you again very, very soon. Take care of yourselves.
James. There
it is. I've never found a love like this.